In the shadowy heart of the African wilderness, where the sun's fierce glare rarely reaches the ground beneath dense canopies, a solitary figure emerges, an imposing black lion, regal, yet grotesquely transformed by a nightmarish affliction. This is no ordinary predator. His sleek, midnight-colored fur is marred by a hideous wound, a swollen, oozing cocoon pulsating grotesquely on his flank. The wound itself seems almost alive, a sickly monument to a relentless invasion by parasites hell-bent on commandeering their host. As a raw, sickening sight, almost frozen in time, as if the lion is partially consumed from within by an alien force, his body betraying the fierce autonomy we expect from a king of the jungle. This ghastly wound tells a story of parasitic dread, an infestation so severe that it has warped flesh and muscle, distending skin, and leaking putrid fluids mingled with the dark hues of necrosis. From the swelling, slimy strands of larvae and maggot-like creatures writhe and squirm, life forms that have taken ingenious and brutal possession of the lion's body. Their tiny hooks latch onto tortured tissues, siphoning nutrients and burrowing deeper, laying the foundation for yet another generation to feed and grow within the lion's suffering flesh. The black lion's once proud stance now seems labored, each breath a struggle against the burning, invading horde. Parasites, in their biological imperative, exploit the vulnerable. The injury or weakened immune system becomes the gateway for these insatiable organisms. This lion's wound is more than just a sore. It is a grotesque ecosystem, a perverse microcosm. Beneath the icy surface of the northern seas, where silence usually rules and shadows swim, there exists a grotesque spectacle almost too grim to witness. A lone white whale, majestic in its ghostly hue, carries a wound so hideously ravaged that it could have sprung from the nightmares of the deep. This injury, festering and pocked with ruthless clam infestations, tells a story much darker than mere survival. It is a raw chapter of nature's brutal indifference, and, perhaps, a reflection of humanity's careless footprint in the ocean's delicate balance. The wound itself is a cavernous rupture in the whale's once smooth skin, now overrun by clusters of clam shells that cling with an unyielding grip. These clams are not merely passive holdfasts. They colonize the wound, burrowing and embedding themselves into the living tissue, secreting substances that prevent healing and encourage other decomposers to join the morbid banquet. The clam infestation thrives in this open sore, feeding off fluids seeping from beneath the whale's skin, turning the injury into a festering reef of parasites. The scent of decay, while imperceptible above water, marks the whale as a walking ecosystem of rot and resilience. Clams, normally dull and harmless denizens of sandy seabeds, here become agents of torment. They exploit the breach, inserting their siphons and shell edges into vulnerable flesh, their presence a ceaseless irritation and infection source. As the white whale drifts through the cold ocean currents, the infested wound attracts scavengers. In the shadowy corners of our world, where nature's beauty intertwines with its darker realities, a tale unfolds that is as shocking as it is poignant. Imagine a dog, once a vibrant companion, now reduced to a pitiful figure, its body marred by a horrific snakebite. The wound, a grotesque gash, oozes with a mixture of blood and venom, a testament to the brutal encounter with one of nature's most feared predators. This is not just a story of injury. It is a chilling reminder of the raw, unfiltered brutality that exists in the animal kingdom, a world where survival often comes at a gruesome cost. As we delve deeper into this unsettling narrative, we must confront the reality of snake infestations that can plague our canine friends. Snakes, with their sleek bodies and stealthy movements, are often misunderstood creatures. They play a crucial role in the ecosystem, controlling populations of rodents and other small animals. However, when their habitats overlap with human settlements, the consequences can be dire. For our unfortunate dog, the encounter with a snake was not merely a chance meeting. It was a violent clash of instincts, a moment where the primal laws of nature took center stage. The snake's venom, a cocktail of neurotoxins and hemotoxins, begins its sinister work almost immediately. As it enters the dog's bloodstream, it wreaks havoc on the body, causing swelling, pain, and in severe cases, death. The wound itself is a grotesque sight. Tissue necrosis sets in, and the once furry skin in the heart of a sun-drenched backyard. A scene unfolds that is both shocking and heart-wrenching. A dog, once a joyful companion, now lies in distress, its body marred by a horrific snakebite. The wound, a grotesque gash, oozes with a mixture of blood and venom, a testament to the brutal encounter with one of nature's most feared predators. The dog's fur, once a vibrant coat of golden hues, is now matted and stained, clinging to its skin like a shroud of despair. As the camera zooms in, the viewer is confronted with the raw reality of the situation. The flesh around the bite is necrotic, a darkening reminder of the venom's insidious spread. This is not just a story of a dog. It is a chilling exploration of the intersection between nature and the domestic world, where the wild encroaches upon the familiar. The snake, a creature of stealth and precision, has left its mark not just on the dog but on the very fabric of the environment. Snake infestations are a growing concern in many regions, often exacerbated by human encroachment into their habitats. As urban areas expand, the natural world is pushed aside, forcing snakes into closer proximity with human dwellings. This leads to an unsettling reality. As we build our homes, we inadvertently create a buffet for these cold-blooded hunters. The dog, in its innocent exploration of the backyard, became an unwitting victim in this ongoing battle for territory. The venom of a snake is a complex cocktail of proteins and enzymes designed to immobilize prey and begin the process of digestion before the meal is even consumed. In the case of our unfortunate canine, the venom has triggered a cascade of physiological responses. The initial puncture wounds are just the beginning. The venom spreads in the heart of the African savanna. A colossal figure lumbers through the tall grass, its massive frame casting a long shadow under the relentless sun. But this is no ordinary elephant. It bears a horrific wound, a grotesque reminder of a battle with nature that has left it scarred and suffering. The gaping hole in its side, a festering wound, is not merely a mark of injury, but a gateway to a dark world of infestation. As we draw closer, the sight becomes more disturbing. Snakes, slithering and writhing, have made this majestic creature their home. The very thought is enough to send shivers down the spine. These serpents, often hidden in the shadows, have taken advantage of the elephant's vulnerability, burrowing into the flesh and creating a grotesque ecosystem of decay and despair. The snakes, primarily of the constrictor variety, are drawn to the warmth and moisture of the elephant's wound. They thrive in this putrid environment, feeding on the necrotic tissue and the insects that swarm around the injury. Each snake, a silent predator, contributes to the macabre tableau, their scales glistening with the remnants of their grisly meals. The elephant, once a symbol of strength and majesty, now stands as a testament to the brutal realities of survival in the wild. The wound, a festering mass of infection, attracts not only snakes but also a host of other parasites, creating a perfect storm of suffering. Flies buzz incessantly, laying their eggs in the silent expanse of the high mountain wilderness, where the cold bites with merciless intent, and the air is as thin as hope itself. A shadow moves with a ghostly grace, a snow leopard, king of these icy cliffs, wrapped in fur as pale moonlight. But beneath this noble facade lies a grotesque reality, a macabre symbiosis with a parasitic flower-like wound that blossoms horrifically across its flank. This fleshy tumor, pulsating with a nauseating mix of decay and vitality, is no ordinary injury. It is a dark, living parasite, a twisted vine of flesh and parasitic cells erupting like an alien bloom in the frostbitten wilderness. Its petals drip with a sickly exudate, seeping poison into the snow leopard's veins, feeding off its life as a sinister, invasive gardener might feed on a captive bloom. Closer inspection reveals an even more repellent antagonist: barnacles. These crustacean horrors, typically